Okay, well, today I am going to talk to you about a number of things, cover a few basics in the travel industry, and then what I want to do, I always tell you that I'm a travel agent and I can do the general travel stuff, but what I really want to talk about today is the food and wine side, because a lot of people just have a blank face when I say I do food and wine travel. They go, what is that? So I'm hopefully going to answer that question for you today. I know that you can't see that because I'm kind of in your way. So what we're going to cover is what is a travel agent, how does a travel agent get paid, very important that you know how I get paid. Why would you book with a travel agent in the first place when you can go online and do it? And what is food and wine travel and the service style that we offer. So a travel agent basically, I'm sure everybody knows, we act for the client and we arrange things like airfares, hotels, cruises and tours. So that's pretty straightforward what a travel agent does. What we are is the problem solver for travellers. So people should come to us when they're thinking about travelling. They need to go to Europe, they don't quite know how to get there, or it's easy to book an airfare, but then what do you do when you get there to have the best experience? So we're the problem solvers. What we do is add value to your holiday. We ensure that your personal and financial security is looked after as well. And this is really important because your personal security is one thing. You need to know what to do, what not to do when you're travelling. And you also need to know that your money is secure. Now, what a lot of people don't know is if they book on a website that's perhaps American-based or hosted, or even a European website, once you make that financial transaction outside of Australia, your money is no longer protected by Australian law, and you can no longer make a claim through the travel compensation fund, which is what protects you in the event that a business goes broke. So I have a travel license that ensures that your money is safe when it comes to me. Okay, let's talk about how a travel agent gets paid. Now, this is probably the most misunderstood part of the travel industry. We are effectively, the price is the same no matter how you book, and there's no added cost. Our commission is built into the price. So if I say to you the airfare is $1,000, part of that $1,000 is retained by me as commission. If you rang the airline, the price would still be $1,000. So there's really not a lot of difference. So whether you book online or with a travel agent, whether you ring them up direct, they even charge you a fee for that now, the price is going to be the same. So why would you book with a travel agent? Well, why not if it doesn't cost anything additional? We are professional, obviously. You wouldn't go and get your tax done, or you wouldn't do your tax yourself and expect the same result as if Tony Hood did it, would you? So there's of course a difference in knowledge. There's of course a difference in outcome. The safety for your money aspect, which I mentioned before. And one of the most important things is help if you're stranded overseas. Now, this is something people don't often give much thought to. When you're looking at an airfare and how much it costs, or your total package holiday, how much it costs, it's important to know, even if there is a difference of $50 or $100 or whatever it is, a travel agent is going to be there for you 24/7 when you're away. You can pick up the phone and I will be able to fix the problem. Whereas if you've booked online, trying to get online and fix an airfare when the volcano in Iceland explodes is really almost impossible. And in fact, a lot of the websites had meltdowns. But I have a system whereby I could jump on and I could help my clients. Saves time, and obviously we're using trusted suppliers over there. We know who we're dealing with. So what is food and wine travel? Obviously we're a travel agency. I've just told you that bit. And we specialise in holidays for lovers of food and wine. We specialise predominantly in independent travel, private holidays. So no tours, no groups, no fixed dates. You're not going with people you don't know, you're not going with people you don't like. If you want to go as a group and you've all formed together and to go away, that's great, I'll organise it for you. But there's nothing fixed about what we do, it's all called independent travel. So you go when you want, how you want, with who you want. It's really important to know that. We specialise in France, Spain, Italy and New Zealand because they are the countries people tend to think about when it comes to food and wine. I can tell you that we also have product in Asia, particularly Vietnam and Thailand. I have product in China as well. We also do South America, South Africa, which is fabulous for wine, Portugal, I'll be there at the end of January, and also India. So basically what we do is we offer a product and we're saying, well, think about your food and wine before you go. If you're really into your food, how about you organise it before you go? You're going to eat when you get there. Why not guarantee the experience is a great one? So what do we do? Essentially, if you look on my business card, it says wine tours, gourmet holidays, cooking schools, and unique food and wine experiences. So if we talk about wine tours, I'm going to quickly talk about each one of these. A wine tour for us is typically 4 to 5 days. It's focused on a region. For example, Burgundy, Bordeaux, Champagne, Rioja, Marlborough in New Zealand. So it's an intensive 4 or 5 day itinerary in that area. It might involve, and these are all very different and can be determined by you, or we can make suggestions. It may be wine tastings with a winemaker. It may be specialty meals. It may be with a guide. It may not be. More often than not, I prefer you to have a driver when you're doing wine tasting. So I organise the driver to take you. You need a driver when you're doing wine tasting, honestly. And of course, the regional highlights. You're going to a region, sometimes thousands of years old, with fabulous history and fabulous buildings. You don't miss out on that either. I mean, that's an example of something you'll see in the Loire Valley. That's Chateau Valandric, and gorgeous manicured gardens. So we combine the wine tasting and food with the best of the regional highlights. Gourmet holidays tend to be a little bit longer. They always focus on the food of the region. And things that you might do on a gourmet holiday is go and visit a market, a local food market, complete with tastings. You might go and do specialty tastings for the region. In France, every region has a different cheese. So you go and find the cheese manufacturer and you'll do tastings there, chocolates, macaroons, foie gras, all that sort of thing. Whatever the specialty is for that region will ensure that you're tasting it and incorporating it into your holiday. Specialties like olive groves in Italy and in Spain. We go out into the olive groves, we show the pressing of the olive, the cold pressed oils, freshly made pastas and the hams, that sort of thing. It's really a hands-on. You get to taste everything and you get to see it firsthand how it's produced. Quite often can involve cooking classes, and I think that's a great way to learn about a culture as well. Tasting, cooking, learning, drinking at the same time. It's all great. Traditional local meals, things like tapas houses in Spain, Victoria's, cantinas, farmhouses. So authentic experiences. I've put there rustic versus gourmet. It's important to distinguish between the two. Gourmet, some people think they're going to get this highfalutin 5-star experience. Rustic is very different, and I do clarify that with a client when they book. So it can be either. Rustic is really getting involved in the local area and sort of living like a local, tasting what the locals taste, whereas gourmet is that sort of more upmarket experience. More often than not hosted with a guide for your gourmet. It will be a local foodie, someone who's grown up in the area and someone who's passionate about food, so they share their love with you. Got cooking schools and classes. These can be two things. You can either do a live-in thing for a week in Tuscany. A lot of people have said, wow, that's an awesome experience I'm aspiring to do. You do your cooking class in the morning, then afternoon you go out and explore all around the region. Or it can be a one-off class with a chef. For example, this guy here, he actually came into the apartment where I was staying in the Loire Valley last time, and he cooked up a 5-course meal for us, and we could have got involved if we wanted to, but we didn't on that occasion. We just sat back and enjoyed a few wines, and he cooked dinner and presented it beautifully. But as I said, you can be a one-off class. The chef takes you to the market and you get involved with the cooking, and then you enjoy a lunch. So unique food and wine experiences. These are something that I tailor to the client. Now these are great for anniversaries, birthdays, special occasions. I had someone ring up, they've got a 60th, their mum's 60th next year, and they want to go to Spain. And there's 5 of them, it's all family, and they want to go off and do a very foodie orientated thing. So that's where I would come in and I'd organise something that's quite unique and tailored to them. So it can be the whole itinerary, or it can be just one dinner or a couple of days. It can be things like gastronomic wine dinners, degustation menus, beautiful dinners held in cellars, private cellars that you wouldn't normally be able to get into, and usually in unusual locations, so that it's going to create a bit of a wow factor and a bit of a great memory for that person. So places like castles, chateaus, farmhouses and villas would be ideal for that sort of thing. Just to let you know, I also can help with walking and cycling. This, you can't see it too well, but they're helmets of people, and you're looking through to the barge coming through the lock there. And I'm booking quite a lot of this at the moment. The barge carries the bikes, and barge goes along the river, and you can hop off and cycle along the river if you want to. If you don't want to, stay on board. I would. A lot of walking. We're doing a lot of gastronomic walking tours. Very popular. Food and wine themed cruises, something that is coming up at the moment, river and ocean cruising. And basically just to talk about the service that's offered, what I say to people is that I'm basically your personal travel concierge. So I'm a boutique service without the price tag and available 24 hours a day when travelling. I'd like to think that I offer a very old-fashioned service, and it's all about caring. It's all about you as the client and what you want to do. Very tailored about, and I listen to what my clients want to do, and I do a lot of research before I present anything. And if it's not quite right, then I go back and I do more research. So that's pretty much about what I do. It's a very labour-intensive job. And there's just some quotes here about what people say. Things like market tour in private class in Paris was faultless and excellent, would highly recommend. So it's a lot of quotes on the website. And what I thought I'd finish up with is just some pictures of me and some friends in Spain and France last time I was there. This is actually in a bodega in the Priorat. And this gentleman just appeared in Gourmet Traveller Wine a couple of months ago. He's a very famous winemaker there. And they hosted us. That was us preparing to cycle down a big mountain. It was interesting. That's me after I cycled down the mountain. That's actually a chef who turned up on a funny little bike he can fold up. Took me to a market. Looks a bit like James actually. In the market, there's my supplier in Loire Valley. Just some beautiful food. That's me about to eat 7 desserts. And that is me with an empty glass in a private cellar. So there you go.